One student's campus job put him behind bars. Plus, a local fashion show will support the victims of human trafficking.
And in sports, the Columbus Blue Jackets left the postseason disappointed once again. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Officers are investigating after finding several different drugs in a dorm room on Ohio University's campus. Good evening, I'm Chelsea Sick. Thanks for joining us. An Ohio University student now faces felony drug possession and drug trafficking charges. Officers arrested Kent T. Ring Saturday morning in Bromley Hall after investigators retrieved over 100 doses of suspected LSD, psilocybin mushrooms, Adderall pills, and $680 in cash. Athens Sheriff Rodney Smith says this arrest by the Major Drug Unit is part of an overall strategy to reduce the supply of drugs in the county.
One of the goals of our major crimes unit is we do focus on the major dealers. So if we can get these major dealers, we can reduce the supply that comes into our county. Or even if we can make an arrest in Fairfield County and we know that they're coming into Athens County, we've taken those drugs out of the equations.
Authorities believe Ring was planning to sell the drugs at Numbers Festival later that evening. He's been held at Southeastern Ohio Regional Jail. Wireless providers might have more difficulty placing antennas on city buildings. A new bill is headed to the governor's desk that would allow communities to have more control over where wireless companies place antennas. The bill follows lawsuits from last year when cities said they were unable to properly regulate the antennas. The bill would also regulate construction of new signal towers. The Athens Hawking Recycling is tightening its budget. The recycling center is implementing cutbacks, including equipment and personnel changes. By summer, there will be less equipment and trucks to cut the cost of the predicted slow season. Personnel cuts are temporary and in some cases involve work week reductions rather than actual layoffs. Fashion is more than fabric for an organization visiting Ohio University today. Unchained is a fashion show using couture pieces to bring awareness to human trafficking. Newswatch reporter Micah Upshaw attended last night's runway rehearsal to tell us how this organization is using fashion to save lives.
The rehearsal was full of positivity last night for the Unchained fashion show. This runway show will be different from most fashion shows, as this one will take the audience on a journey of a human trafficking victim. Ohio is particularly vulnerable to human trafficking with both large urban centers and rural counties, and 5 major highways allowing easy access to other states and Canada. That's what Unchained co-founder Stephanie Catani had in mind when she created the show.
Learning about the plight that women have specifically targeted violence against them sexually across the world. So I was in West Africa and learning about this from there, and also in the US. And so once I kind of put all the pieces together, fashion became the vehicle to tell such a difficult story, because we need safe ways to look at really difficult things if we're going to change an issue.
Katani's trip to Africa, her background in fashion, and her passion for human activism led her to designer Korto Momolu, a runner-up on Season 5 of Project Runway. Together, they came up with a concept for 30 couture pieces, each representing different stages of the human trafficking cycle. It starts with innocence, then moves to more dramatic, darker pieces representing violence, then ends with bright dresses representing restoration.
My piece has 2 chain cuffs on the dress, and I think it's to symbolize, being literally chained. So I'm assuming that's like during the part when people are in the human trafficking cycle itself. So in the very middle of it, being trafficked.
This is the finale dress. It represents beauty and self-worth for victims recovering from the effects of human trafficking.
Katani has traveled to campuses throughout the Midwest to tell the story of those victimized by these crimes.
The fashion show will start tonight at 7 in the Walter Rotunda. It's free, but the organization will be taking donations. 100% of the proceeds go to Ohio Human Trafficking Help Centers.
Welcome to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm your forecaster, Blake Hardesty. It was a wet and miserable day out here in Athens today. Right now we're looking at 55 degrees across the Athens area tonight. Those rain showers are going to be continuing into the evening over hours tonight and into tomorrow morning. So make sure you keep those umbrellas handy with you as you go about your evening tonight. Winds out of the northeast at 0 to 5 miles per hour. As we take a look across the region right now, 55 here in Athens, in one spot it's 59 down in Ripley and I-10, 55 over for people over in Cambridge, 55 in Columbus as well, and 54 in Chillicothe. There's going to be rain for most of this area tonight, and that moves out tomorrow morning. But Chelsea, this next couple of days is going to be pretty warm, and I might have some several days coming up in the said forecast. We have both rain and sun for several days coming up here soon.
All right, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Thanks, Blake. A 12-year-old is in critical condition after a car and bus crash in Cincinnati puts dozens of adults and children in the hospital. The 12-year-old was on the school bus at the time of the accident. Ashley Zilka takes us inside the scene of the crash.
It's that sound that helped many mothers and fathers find their way to their children on Winson Road. Ambulances took more than a dozen adults and children to the hospital. That number went up after some parents took their kids on their own.
I just had to jump in the first moving vehicle and get here as fast as I could to my child. I didn't know if he was injured. I didn't know if he was going to be alive.
I fear for my kids' safety and their life, like they're babies.
There were so many people injured in the 5-vehicle crash involving a school bus that Cincinnati Police Lieutenant Steve Saunders said they had to call in help from other agencies to make sure everyone could get to the hospital. The bus was carrying students from Pleasant Hill Academy.
We was praying the whole time. We was praying, Lord Jesus, please let our children be all right. Please walk with them, be with them, Lord, please.
Police say the accident happened when the driver of this Crown Victoria tried to pass another car and lost control. That sparked a chain reaction crash. That sent this Dodge Neon across into the other lane, slamming into this school bus, which then spun out of control, hitting another car.
She crashed into the person that was in front of her.
2 toddlers in the Dodge Neon were injured. One of them was thrown from the car. A 12-year-old girl who was on the bus is in critical condition.
I hugged her. That's all I can do. It's terrifying. Your kids could be here today, gone tomorrow.
Charges are currently pending against the 23-year-old driver who instigated the crash. Governor John Kasich is aiming to improve Ohio's background check system. Governor Kasich signed an executive order yesterday to study and improve how local officials report criminal information, which could stop someone from buying a gun. The governor tweeted saying he is taking this action to keep guns out of the wrong hands. A similar study in 2015 said changes were needed at the local level to better report background check information. This order comes as a package of gun control efforts being pushed by Governor Kasich through the state legislature. A 19-year-old Kentucky man is facing up to 5 years in prison for threatening to shoot up his school, according to WKYU. Cameron Davis made a comment last October saying he would shoot up Henderson County High School. Davis pleaded guilty last month to second-degree terroristic threatening. Davis may not have to serve the entire sentence if he is eligible for a short sentence or parole. Ohio's Supreme Court says cities have the right to operate traffic cameras. This comes after the state said they would reduce funding to cities with traffic cameras. The State House News Bureau says the court will now decide if lower courts can block a plan to cut state funding. Cities argue the cameras increase traffic safety and allow police to focus on other crimes. Opponents say the cameras are only moneymakers for cities and violate drivers' rights. The man responsible for killing 10 people in Toronto began his trial today. Plus, the Waffle House hero in Nashville received special recognition. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
We are here for the same reason, although I suspect we hope for different results.
You know what they say, yeah, the wicked get no rest.
I do not admire you for this.
Looking at my heart, in a place,
It's only 6, isn't it?
got so much to lose.
Full love.
So much to prove.
For judgment.
God, don't let me
We are not immune This is how you'll be a man.
Are you becoming squeamish?
Oh, God, your mother's here.
The lesbians. They're getting married. You're having a great time.
God, don't let me lose my mind.
Come and play with us.
Onward and onward!
Good ideas open up a whole new world of possibilities.
The more you know about history, the more you know about yourself.
The sky is the limit.
Where I go, there you are.
The driver accused of intentionally plowing a white van through a busy Toronto street and hitting multiple people made his first court appearance today. Kristen Holmes is in Toronto with more on the investigation.
Heaven has 10 new angels today, and we ask them to watch over us.
The city of Toronto in mourning after chaos struck at a busy intersection. Authorities say a man driving this white van crashed into multiple people crossing the street, then mounted the sidewalk and continued his carnage, leaving a trail of destruction nearly a mile long.
When I look out the window, I saw that guy lying over there dead.
Try to see if this guy's okay, but the guy was bleeding up from the head, unconscious, eyes open.
The suspected driver, 25-year-old Alec Manassian, was arrested and made his first court appearance Tuesday morning. He was charged with 10 counts of first-degree murder and 13 counts of attempted murder.
The people who call the city home are shaken, and we mourn together, but we are not broken.
A heavy police presence was seen at the suspect's home as Toronto looks for answers.
The entire community of Toronto has shown strength and determination in the face of this tragedy.
In Toronto, I'm Kristen Holmes reporting.
Tennessee lawmakers recognized Waffle House hero James Shaw Jr. with a resolution today. Shaw wrestled an AR-15 from accused gunman Travis Ranking during the attack at Waffle House in Antioch Sunday. A standing ovation erupted in the House after a proclamation was made labeling him a hero.
I have a lot to say. I think you all kind of know what perspired when the incident happened. All I can say is this was a true test of a man. I do once again apologize to the people that lost loved ones, friends or family.
4 people were killed in the shooting and 2 others remain hospitalized with injuries. After the shooting, Shaw started a GoFundMe for the victims' families. It went on to raise more than $77,000. Shaw was also honored in the Tennessee Senate. More warm weather means more outside activity, which is increasingly important for young children. That story is still ahead.
And we have some rain moving out of the area tonight, finally into the nice couple days. We have some warm weather coming up in the next couple of days, and as the extended forecast, as some 80-degree weather might be returning for next week. I have more details about that coming up next on When Newswatch returns. But first, here's a look at stocks of local interest.
I don't mind saying it.
Now you look like an astronaut.
My dream is to walk on the moon.
2, 1.
Look at this place.
It's a crazy design.
It's nearly impossible.
What is the next step toward furthering our presence in the cosmos?
That was something. Oh, this is incredible. Very, very scary.
Reality is always more unbelievable than anything we could have imagined.
We're literally on the cutting edge.
Unreal.
Hi, I'm Hari Srinivasan from the PBS NewsHour.
And I'm Mark Brewer from WOUB.
Join me on PBS NewsHour and PBS NewsHour Weekend for the latest news and analysis of the issues that matter most to you.
Weeknights at 7 p.m. and Sundays at 5 right here on WOUB Public Media.
Welcome into the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm your forecaster, Blake Hardesty. We had a nice weekend a few days ago, so you might be asking yourself, where did the sun go? I have more details when that might be returning here in just a few seconds. But first, right now in Athens, we're looking at 55 degrees. Those rain showers are continuing throughout the night tonight. So make sure you do grab an umbrella as you go on about your evening tonight. We have winds out of the northeast at 0 to 5 miles per hour. As we look across the regions right now, we have one spot of Ironton at 59 degrees as well as Ripley at 59 degrees. Cambridge looking at 55 degrees and 55 in Columbus as well, and 58 over here in Marietta. Rain for most of this area tonight, hopefully be moving out by tomorrow morning. Today we only reached 55 degrees for a high, which is well below our normal of 65 degrees. But at least our low temperature was above normal temperature. We reached only 51 degrees for our low, which is our normal 45 degrees. As we look at precipcast right now, tonight, we have this rain that's going to be moving off northeast away from the Ohio area as this low pressure up here in Canada begins to move further up north. And that rain will be pushing out by this cold front overnight tonight. Hopefully by morning time, as you're making your way to work or school, that should be moving out of the area. As we look ahead tomorrow night, it's going to be out of the area by tomorrow evening. Tonight in Athens, looking at 49 degrees under rainy conditions. The passing showers tonight as you go about your evening. For hour by hour tonight, we're looking at 8 p.m. tonight, 50 degrees. It's going to be a wet evening. The rain moves out by around midnight to 4 a.m. 4 a.m. you might still have a lingering shower as you go about your day tomorrow. 49 degrees for lows tonight here in Athens, 50 degrees in Ripley, and 49 for people over in Cambridge. Hour by hour tomorrow for the bus stop forecast, 50 degrees by tomorrow morning. So make sure those kids have a jacket. They might have a passing shower as they go through the day. And we warm up by 60 degrees by 4 p.m. Those clouds start to break up a little bit as we go through the day tomorrow. 60 degrees for tomorrow's high. Humidity is going to be around 90% with the rain we got today, with winds out of the northwest. Out of the northwest, it's 5 to 10 miles per hour. It's going to be generally a cloudy day. Like I said, those clouds might break up by tomorrow evening, but for the most part, it's going to be a very cloudy day. Tomorrow's high, we're looking at 60 degrees in Athens and 58 in New Lexington, 58 in Columbus, and 60 in Chillicothe. As we look at the 7-day forecast, this is what I was talking about. There's lots of sunshine coming into the next couple of days. 63 for Thursday, nice and sunny starts to begin. And those clouds start to dissipate over the next few days. By Sunday, we're looking at all sunshine, 67 degrees. 72, back up into the 70s by Monday. And on Tuesday, look at this, 80 degrees. Finally on Tuesday, finally kicking into the 80s. Going to be a nice week for tomorrow for the people leaving campus, starting some of the summer vacation a little bit early. This is going to be a great start to the break for us here in Athens.
Blake, I cannot believe it's already going to be 80 degrees. It went from 50s to 80s. That's amazing. Thanks, Blake. Fitness should be a family affair. At least that's what the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is encouraging. Reed Binion has more in today's Health Minute.
Fitness is important for the entire family. The CDC recommends that children and adolescents get at least an hour of physical activity each day. The CDC says children should be involved in some form of muscle and bone strengthening at least 3 days a week. These activities could include gymnastics, jumping rope, running, or even climbing. If the child has a chronic disease or disability, the CDC suggests talking with a doctor to determine the best physical activity routine. Make exercise fun and find a way to get your kids motivated and off the couch. Plan a scenic run or walk. Play a sport together or come up with a family competition. Child and teen obesity has more than tripled in the U.S. since the 1970s, according to the CDC, which makes exercise and a balanced diet more important than ever. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Binion.
I'm Samantha Wiesnath, and after the break, we find out what options student athletes have when they enter college. And I'll have some highlights from the Indians game last night. But first, here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your local public television station.
Feel my face anymore.
Let's go! Going out together, running up the mountain.
You're doing good. You're just a little slow.
There's no time for doubting.
Welcome to madness.
I'm expecting the unexpected. The chicken feet really put me in a foul mood.
Join us for Family Ingredients Season 2.
Show me your mayonnaise, and I'll tell you who you are. I can't wait to have a taste.
Now that's crispy.
Hello, I'm Paula Kerger, president of PBS. I'd like to tell you about a terrific new membership benefit called PBS Passport. With a qualifying donation, Passport brings more than 1,000 hours of great PBS and local programming to your computer, phone, or digital media player. You can catch up on shows you may have missed or revisit some of your favorites. The best part is that you can watch whenever you want. When you make your qualifying donation, you'll help to make all of the programs you love on this station possible, so don't delay. I know that you're going to love PBS Passport, so please make that donation right now, and thank you for your support.
Welcome back. I'm Samantha Wiesnath, and here are today's top sports stories. The Columbus Blue Jackets ended their season on home ice last night at the hands of the Washington Capitals. After winning the first 2 games of the series on the road, the Jackets dropped the next 4 games, 3 of which were at home. The Jackets didn't put up as much of a fight as things got out of hand in the third period, and the Caps cruised to a 6-3 victory. For the Jackets, this was yet another postseason where they failed to move on, while Washington is headed back to D.C. to face the Pittsburgh Penguins in the second round. And staying in the D.C. region, the Indians were nearby in Baltimore last night as they downed the Orioles 2-1. Carlos Carrasaro was dealing on the mound when he went 7 1/3 innings and racked up 7 strikeouts and just 1 earned run. Yonder Alonso provided the Tribe's only offense of the game with his 2-run homer in the top of the third. The Indians return back to Cleveland tonight as they welcome the Chicago Cubs in their first matchup since Game 7 of the 2016 World Series. And while the ball club in Cleveland is thriving, the one in Cincinnati has been struggling. But the Reds finally put another one in the win column last night after 5 straight losses. The Reds defeated the Atlanta Braves 10-4 as their first offense exploded for 5 runs in the 6th. Right fielder Scott Schiebler was the star of the night, racking up 3 of the Reds' 10 hits, including a 2-run home run, 3 runs, and 3 RBIs. The Reds are now just 4-18 on the year, and they continue their series with Atlanta tonight. Not all high school athletes can continue playing in college. Newswatch reporter Catherine Morey found out what alternatives these students have at Ohio University.
Living a healthy life is important to many college students, but for former high school athletes, staying active in college is a necessary lifestyle. Former athletes find unique ways to train at the same level high school sports require, but on their own schedule. Ohio University senior Ghazi Calhoun originally went to play football at the University of Rochester, but came to OU on an engineering scholarship. He says working out in college is important for his overall well-being.
Since academics are so rigorous and stressful, one thing I like to do or have as an outlet is I like to come play basketball. I like to work out. It's a really good stress reliever, especially basketball, releases endorphins.
Other former athletes make sure to find time to hit the gym around their classes.
In high school, it's a little bit different because I played sports obviously every single day, worked out every morning, but that's because it was on schedule. Now that I'm in college, I still do the same thing because I like being active, but it's not really required, so I can take days off. I don't have to do it as often.
Ping Recreational Center is one of the most popular places to exercise on campus. Ping offers workout rooms and equipment, full-size basketball courts, an indoor track, and a rock climbing wall.
Having Ping is amazing because I can really do whatever workout I want, and then it's also nice being around such a diverse group of students and just lots of different people, so no matter what time you come in, I always feel motivated because I see other people also putting in work.
Gassi says he enjoys playing against students with different skill levels, which keeps the game interesting. Reporting for Newswatch at noon, I'm Catherine Morey.
It's great that OU has so many opportunities for student athletes. I'm Sam Wiesness, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Chelsea.
Thanks, Sam. Visitors waited hours Monday to catch a glimpse of what is probably the country's most famous plant right now. Corpse flowers only bloom once every 7 to 10 years, and the specimen at the Tucson Botanical Garden in Arizona named Rosie finally opened up. More than 160,000 people have been watching a live stream of the plant for 2 days, and people who showed up in person got a chance to see the 10-foot tall flower up close. Experts believe Rosie may be too young to produce the offensive smell the corpse flower is known for, but that didn't stop people from taking it all in.
It's going to be a cold and damp evening tonight in Athens. A low temperature tonight, only going to be down to 49 degrees, back down to the 40s, unfortunately. So make sure you keep those umbrellas handy if you go out and about tonight in Athens. We have winds out of the northeast at 0 to 5 miles per hour here. It's going to be a nice and chilly day, evening tonight. Tomorrow, temperature-wise, it's going to be a lot warmer, 60 degrees for a high tomorrow. Rain showers begin to push out, so we're still going to be under a cloudy situation tonight. It's going to be tomorrow as we go through the day. Really humid out, 90% humidity. That's due to the rain, all the rain we had today. So it's going to be overall just a cloudy, gray day tomorrow in Athens. Winds out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then we take a look at the extended forecast. The sunshine finally does return with clear skies on Sunday and Monday of next week and pushing 80 degrees by Tuesday of next week. Chelsea, we're back to you.
All right, thanks, Blake. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Chelsea Sick. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.